So I'm going to start this build the same way I do with all of them, at my jointer, planer, and table saw, milling all of my rough lumber flat and square on four sides.
Because you lost one doesn't mean that you're defeated.
The front and back of this Bluetooth speaker are going to be made from wenge, so I'll go ahead and resaw that at my bandsaw. Next, I'll cut the miters for the outside of the case over at my table saw using the Incra 5000 miter sled. The case also needs a dado and a rabbet for the front and back to sit in, and I'll cut that at my table saw as well. And I'll clean up that rabbet a little bit with my Stanley number 93 shoulder plane. The back is going to be screwed in place, so in order to make that happen, I need to glue in some blocks in the back that I can screw through. And to do that, I'm just using some walnut scrap and some CA glue.
You don't see things my way. How else could it play when the going gets?
Next, I need to figure out where all of the electronic parts are going to go in this thing, and so I'm just marking out one of the boards here and trying to hawk away some of that material to create a recess with a Forstner bit.
As it turns out, I turn right on it.
With some of that wood relieved, I can go ahead and start chiseling away the material that's actually going to allow the electronic components to stick through the back of the speaker.
Hoping and dreaming and thinking way to confuse it.
And with that work done, I can turn my attention to the front of the case, and to make the holes for the drivers, I'm just using my jigsaw and an oscillating spindle sander. These holes don't have to be perfect because the speakers are mounted from the front. They just need to be big enough for the drivers to fit through, and not so big that you can see them. Some of the electronic components require standoffs to, I assume, help dissipate heat. So here I am drilling the holes and installing standoffs for the battery pack.
Never meant to me the way that it does to you. I fold it down in my back pocket for a brand new pair.
And while I'm at it, we can just make sure everything fits together nicely.
Things my way. Bill, what else can I say?
And now it is time to sand all the pieces up to 220 grit.
Still wanting you'll be stressing for all your days. That ain't the way.
To glue the case together, I'm going to use the blue tape trick.
As it turns out,
I also thought it would be a good idea to glue one edge of the front of the speaker in. This is still going to allow it to expand and contract, but hopefully prevent it from rattling.
sweating in my bed, hoping and dreaming and thinking we're a mixed up bed. I was hoping and dreaming and thinking we're a confused head. I was hoping and dreaming and thinking with my big fat head.
With the case all glued together, I can spray on 4 coats of shellac, sanding up to 1000 grit on the final coat. With that done, it's time to start installing all of the electronic components. So here I'm going to install the on-off switch, the volume knob, and a couple lights in the front.
Well, I moved out Southside A.
With that taken care of, I can go ahead and install the drivers on the front of the case.
And I made out with my first true love. It was
And next I can solder the wires onto the barrel connector for the power cord as well as the speakers.
found some mean ways to make a liar out of me.
Okay guys, let me show you what I've got going on here. I'm not an electronics guy, so this stuff is not easy for me, but it wasn't really all that hard to do. This is the main Bluetooth amplifier board, and from this all the other stuff happens, I think. So this is the Bluetooth antenna, got that plugged in. This is the power, the plug for the power cord. This is a Bluetooth extension board that gives me an auxiliary in, a couple USB ports, and I can turn the Bluetooth on and off. Inside of here we have a battery pack and 2 speakers, and then on the front we have 2 lights, one to show that the batteries are charging, one to show that the Bluetooth is connected, a volume knob, and an on-off switch. So like I said, it came with these directions, and you just kind of plug everything in according to the diagram. So while I'm doing that, I want to tell you a little bit about my friend Fred Oakman. He just released an album. It's called My Gasoline Heart, and you've been listening to some of the music from that album during this video, and I'm going to demonstrate this Bluetooth speaker with one of his songs as well. And Fred's a really good friend of mine. Him and I grew up going to shows and playing music together, and his music is just fantastic. I really enjoy it, and I hope that you do too. Check out the link in the description to go and buy his album. It's fantastic. It really is. So let's get these things all plugged in here. That's a problem. I'm going to have to move this so that I can plug my battery cable in. It's too far away, I think. Yeah, that's a bummer. But we'll get everything else plugged in and then move it.
That's been blowing low and down and lost on me.
There we go. Plug this guy back in. Like that. That should be it. Let's close up the case.
And I'll try my very best to make the most of this.
And with the speaker all put together, let's test this thing out.
Remember